Today, we're diving into the story of someone who was a complete game changer in the history of Zen Buddhism. His name was Huineng, and he was just about the most unlikely revolutionary you could ever imagine.
And that really gets us to the central puzzle here, doesn't it? How on earth did an illiterate woodcutter from the absolute fringes of the Chinese Empire manage to completely upend a tradition that was 1,000 years in the making? It sounds impossible. So, let's get into it.
All right, so let's set the scene. We're talking about 7th century Tang Dynasty China. And as you can see, Huineng's life was a whirlwind. From his humble birth in 638 to becoming this legendary teacher, it all happened incredibly fast. And his legacy, well, it's still shaping things today.
To really get what a big deal this was, you have to understand the man at the center of it all. And let me tell you, Huineng's backstory, well, it couldn't be more humble.
I mean, this guy wasn't some high-ranking scholar or a nobleman. No, he was a poor firewood seller, totally illiterate, from way out on the southern frontier, which back then was basically considered the middle of nowhere. In a world where Buddhist masters were revered scholars, Huineng was the ultimate outsider.
And then, one day, everything changes. Huineng happens to overhear someone reciting this one line from a famous Buddhist text, the Diamond Sutra. Just hearing it, boom, he has this massive, instantaneous flash of insight. That single sentence was enough to send him on a long journey north, searching for the monastery of the Fifth Patriarch of Zen.
Okay, so to really appreciate how radical Huineng's ideas were, we need to take a step back and look at what was considered, well, normal for Buddhism at the time. The established path to enlightenment was seen as this long, slow, steady climb. The main idea, the central metaphor everyone used, was this idea of the mind as a mirror. Picture this. Your mind is naturally pure and bright, but it gets covered in all this dust, worldly thoughts, desires, anxieties. So the spiritual work was all about constantly polishing that mirror, day after day, year after year, maybe even for lifetimes, to wipe away the dust.
And here's the thing about that idea. This whole gradual path basically made enlightenment a club for the elite. You had to be a monk, someone who could spend all day, every day, studying and meditating. For a regular person, a firewood seller, it seemed like a completely unreachable goal. And this is where the story gets really good. It all boils down to one of the most famous showdowns in Zen history, a poetry contest of all things, to decide who would lead the next generation of Zen.
So the Fifth Patriarch lays it out for his monks. The challenge is simple. Write a short poem, a verse, that shows you get it, that you understand the core of enlightenment. The winner gets the robe and bowl, the official symbols of the Zen lineage.
The head monk, this super respected scholar named Shen Xiu, he steps up first. And his poem, it is the perfect summary of that gradual path we just talked about. It's all about constant work, right? The mind's a mirror, and your job is to keep polishing it, to make sure no dust settles. It was the establishment view, nailed perfectly. But here's the twist. Tucked away in the back of the monastery, there's this kitchen helper, pounding rice. Remember, this is Huineng. He's not even officially considered a monk. And when he hears Shen Xiu's poem being recited, he knows, deep down, that something is missing. So since he can't write, he dictates his own response. Okay, look at these two side by side, because this is everything. Shen Xiu's poem is all about doing something. It's a process. Brush it clean. It's a never-ending task. But Huineng, wow, he just flips the whole table. He's not just offering a new method, he's saying the entire problem is a misunderstanding. There is no mirror. There is no dust. Originally, there is not a single thing, he says. Where could any dust arise? He's saying the very idea that your mind is dirty and needs cleaning is the illusion we have to see through.
This one poem, man, it just laid the groundwork for this whole new way of thinking, a concept that would go down in history as sudden enlightenment.
So, what exactly is sudden enlightenment? Well, Huineng used this amazing analogy. He said, our true, pure nature is like the sun. It's always there, it's always brilliant. All our worries and thoughts, they're just clouds passing in front of it. So enlightenment isn't about building a sun. It's that sudden aha moment when the clouds part and you realize the sun was there the whole time.
And this leads to another really important and often misunderstood idea he taught, no thought. Now, this doesn't mean you have to turn your brain off and have a totally blank mind. Not at all. It's more about letting thoughts come and go without grabbing onto them, like watching clouds drift by or seeing reflections in a mirror that don't leave a stain.
There's this fantastic story that just nails his teaching. He sees a couple of monks arguing. One says the wind is moving, the other says the banner is moving. And Huineng just walks up and says, "Nope, it is your mind that moves." His point is so profound. Our experience of reality isn't happening out there. It's being generated right here in our own minds.
So the fact that Huineng, the illiterate kitchen hand, won that contest and became the Sixth Patriarch, you just can't overstate how huge that was. It literally changed everything. It sent Zen careening down a completely new path.
I mean, look at the impact. Suddenly, the ultimate authority wasn't some ancient scripture. It was your own direct personal experience. Enlightenment wasn't just for the monks anymore. It was for everyone. This way of thinking inspired brand new teaching methods, like those mind-bending koans. And get this, every single surviving school of Zen today, they all trace their roots back to him, to this one guy.
And that was it. Huineng's Southern School, with its idea of sudden enlightenment, completely won out over the old gradual path. His vision became the vision for Zen, first in China and then as it spread all over the world.
So what does this all leave us with? Huineng's entire legacy kind of boils down to this one profound, really personal question. He taught that our true nature isn't broken. It's already whole. It's already awake. It's not something you have to build or earn. You just have to recognize it. And that makes you wonder, right? What if all the peace and clarity we're looking for isn't at the end of some long, hard road, but it's available right here, right now, in this very moment?